Do you want to know the real secret? Why these hostile cosmic visitors keep returning to disturb us? It's not because they're evil. It's because we're doing one simple thing that tells them, yes, you can do whatever you want with me. And the scariest part, we don't even realize we're doing it. But once you see what it is and fix it, even once, everything changes. That's what's happening with 3IATLAS. As 3IATLAS approached the Sun, its behavior became stranger. It seemed to ignore physics. No tail, no dust, no visible jets of gas. Yet it was accelerating. Scientists began to consider an idea once dismissed as madness. What if this isn't a natural body, but a working piece of technology? Professor Avi Loeb is no stranger to controversy. Back in 2017, when Oumuamua passed by Earth, he was the first to say, "It might not be an asteroid. It could be a fragment of technology." Scientists laughed back then. Now they're listening. Loeb claims 3IATLAS behaves just like Oumuamua, but on a larger, more deliberate scale. If Oumuamua looked like a thin solar sail, then Atlas resembles a massive, controlled object, possibly with an internal source of energy. With every new observation, the list of oddities grows. But 9 of them now stand as the most decisive. It moves almost perfectly along the plane of the solar system, as if it chose the corridor where the planets travel. The odds of this happening by chance? Less than 1 in a billion. In July 2025, telescopes recorded a burst of material towards the Sun. That's physically impossible. A comet's tail should always be pushed away by solar wind. 33 billion tons, yet faster than small comets. No known gravitational law explains this without an external force. It passes Mars, Venus, and near Jupiter, but avoids Earth. For a random body, this is beyond improbable. Spectra reveal a nickel-to-iron ratio seen not in nature, but in engineered alloys, like Inconel or Haynes. Only 4% water, far too little for a comet. It's more like a polished metal surface than a dirty snowball. Light scattered off it behaves as if bouncing off a flat metallic panel. No natural comet has ever shown that. A bright blue glow, indicating temperatures above 5,800 Kelvin, hotter than the Sun's surface. But where does the energy come from? Both the 1977 WOW radio signal and Atlas originated from nearly the same coordinates, the constellation Sagittarius. Coincidence? Maybe. But too precise to ignore. Some astrophysicists joke that 3I/ATLAS behaves like a Tesla on autopilot. It's not drifting, it's adjusting. Imagine an autonomous probe launched millions of years ago by a civilization that no longer exists. Suddenly everything makes sense. It could use solar radiation for thrust. Its body might be a reflective composite, shielded by a ceramic layer. The acceleration could come from photon pressure or residual plasma propulsion. Still just hypotheses, but they explain what normal physics cannot. There's an even more intriguing idea. A TLAS might be observing us. Some researchers link its path to predictive models of interstellar observation stations, autonomous beacons that activate when a young civilization reaches a technological threshold. Coincidence or reaction? Atlas appeared just as Earth hit a peak in AI and quantum sensor development. Radio telescopes FAST, China, and the Allen Telescope Array, SETI, recorded strange noise peaks between 8 to 9 gigahertz, synchronized perfectly with Atlas's transit. Not proven to be a signal, but too timely to dismiss. Scientists call it a pseudo-reflection, but the public already named it the ATLAS echo. If 3IATLAS is indeed artificial, then it's not just a discovery, it's a message. Silent, but unmistakable. And maybe it wasn't even meant for us. Maybe we just happened to stand in its way. December 19, 2025. Atlas passes its closest point to Earth, 167 million miles. Every major telescope turns towards it. If no gas cloud appears, the comet theory collapses. If it does, physics will need a new chapter. We always thought we were looking at the stars. But maybe the stars have been looking back all along. On November 5th, the Virtual Telescope Project released 2 new photographs. They showed 3 IATLAS as a compact source of light, no visible gas, no tail. Even more shocking, its appearance had barely changed since July 2025. A true comet should have lost at least 13% of its mass, over 5 billion tons, leaving behind a glowing cloud. It didn't. According to Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb, if ATLAS were natural, it would shine like a gigantic lamp of vaporized ice. But it doesn't. That's not just strange, that's a message. Officially, it's the 3rd interstellar object ever observed, after Oumuamua 2017 and Borisov 2019. Discovered July 1st, 2025 by the Atlas telescope in Chile. Moves on a hyperbolic orbit, unbound from the Sun, just passing through. Speed? Over 60 kilometers per second, approximately 200,000 kilometers per hour. Estimated diameter? About 5.6 kilometers. Age? Possibly up to 10 billion years, older than the Milky Way itself. But what makes it extraordinary is not what we see, it's what we don't. October 2025. Atlas's orbit suddenly shifts, deviating by 4 arcseconds from prediction. At a distance of 203 million kilometers, that's enormous. Acceleration, 0.2 millimeters per second squared, equal to 80 kilometers of drift per month. Comets accelerate when ice sublimates, yet Atlas showed none of that activity. By mass, it would need to eject 5 billion tons of gas to cause that motion, but there's no visible jet, no tail, no signature at all. As Loeb says, if there's no gas and no tail, it's not just a comet. Its brightness increased twice as fast as expected, -7 magnitude instead of -3. And its hue, electric blue. Impossible for cold dust. Only extremely hot, ionized gases emit that kind of light. Or something else entirely. Its orbit tilts only 5 degrees to the ecliptic, nearly perfect alignment with the planetary plane. Statistically, impossible for a random interstellar object. In July-August, Atlas ejected material toward the Sun, like a comet running with its hair blowing forward. It's heavier, faster, and drier than any comet ever seen. Ultraviolet scans detected faint traces of hydroxyl, a sign of some water activity, but far weaker than normal. Metal content is unusually high. The surface, almost desert dry, about 4% water at most. The puzzle deepens. If it's venting gas, where's the cloud? If it's dead rock, what's powering the acceleration? If the data are wrong, fine. If they're right, it's revolutionary. Mass plus acceleration equals thrust. But without visible exhaust, something else must be propelling it. Photon pressure, magnetic propulsion, or something far more advanced. Not necessarily aliens, but definitely technology. From November 2025 through January 2026, every major telescope, from Hubble to James Webb, tracked Atlas. December 19th would be decisive. If there's a gas cloud, we'll see it. If not, the natural explanation dies. If Atlas defies all known comet models, it could be the scientific discovery of the century, perhaps the first evidence of interstellar technology. Either way, it forces humanity to confront its place in the cosmos. December 19th. Hundreds of telescopes, Earth orbit, lunar bases, pointed at a single spot. Atlas reached perihelion, the moment of truth. It should have erupted in light. Instead, silence. A single frame appeared on screens, a glowing sphere wrapped in blue haze, a steady beam of light piercing the void, as if someone had switched on a cosmic searchlight. 0317 UTC Fast, China, detected a 12-second signal. Structured, harmonic, perfect. Not random noise, but a rhythm based on the golden ratio, 1.618. The same ratio found in spiral galaxies, seashells, and human DNA. 8 minutes later, the same signal hit Arecibo and Atacama. 3 observatories, 1 origin, a TLAS. The signal never repeated. 12 seconds. That changed astronomy forever. 2 days later, Atlas vanished. No explosion, no debris, no dust, just empty sky, as if someone had turned off the light. Some say it disintegrated, others that it cloaked itself, or simply shifted trajectory to a new mission. A week later, NASA and ESA released their spectral analysis. The 8 to 9 gigahertz pattern matched coordinates of nearby stars: Epsilon Eridani, Gliese 581, TRAPPIST 1, Tau Ceti. Each frequency pointed to a real direction in space. It wasn't a message, it was a map. Not for us, but from us. They called it the beacon effect. Atlas might have sent a pulse away from Earth saying, "Target found." Civilization detected. Scientists argued. Some cried data error, others whispered, "A new era has begun." The world froze. Politicians discussed first contact protocols. Social media exploded with hashtag #WeAreSeen and hashtag Atlas signal. Religious leaders quoted scriptures about eyes in the heavens, and humanity for the first time felt observed. A month later, researchers at the University of Tokyo proposed the mirror effect. Atlas, they said, could be part of an ancient network of self-activating probes triggered when a civilization becomes technologically visible through radio, AI, or nuclear activity. It didn't arrive, it woke up. Maybe we'll never know the truth. Maybe it was just a comet, its oddities the work of chance. Or maybe chance is simply the universe's polite way of saying hello. January 2026. James Webb caught a faint glint, a flash consistent with nickel-iron crystal structures. Encoded within 1-4-2-7-0, coordinates of Sagittarius, the origin of the 1977 WOW signal. When we look at the stars, we see the past. But maybe the stars are watching our future. If Atlas is just a rock, it reminds us how little we know. If it's a machine, then we've just looked into a mirror and seen ourselves staring back from eternity.